Alright, this is going to be part 13 of Tokyo Mirage Sessions # FE. Yeah, whatever. Why that stupid title? They should have just called it SMTXFE, but hey, what do I fucking know? Alright, we're on our way to the Cosmic Egg. Itsuki says I sense evil. I'm gonna proceed anyway because otherwise we can't beat the video game. Anyways, there's that one creepy looking guy who looks almost identical to one of the antagonists from Nocturne. Itsuki says, "No, Mr. Hatanaka." He says, "Hey everyone, great to see y'all. You have no idea how long I've waited to confront you like this. Sorry for hanging on to the Dragonstone for so long. Don't worry though, I'm all done with it." Itsuki says, "What have you done?" Hatanaka says, "The ritual to resurrect the Shadow Dragon, of course. With this much performa, nobody could stop it." Yashido says, "It's you, Garnef." Itsuki says, "Yashido, stop. Mr. Hatanaka is just being controlled. We need to save him." Hatanaka says, "Yeah, sorry about that, Itsuki. Nobody's controlling anyone. I'm just like you. Garnef and I are partners, sharing a bond. Isn't that right?" Garnef laughs and says, "If that's what you call a common interest, well, I suppose we must be." Yashido says, "You bastard." Garnef says, "Impudent child." And he erects a barrier. Garnef says, "Shikomi Tsurugi's performa is truly unparalleled. With this power, all elder magic is mine to control." Yashido says, "That's my father's." Itsuki says, "Mr. Hatanaka, how could you cooperate with Garnef?" Hatanaka says, "The resurrection of the Shadow Dragon would be the ultimate entertainment, a production worth risking my life for. Tokyo tragically ravaged by an evil dragon, but plucky kids and unearthly warriors join to stand against it. It would be the greatest performance, the swan song of this world. That is my vision, that is entertainment." Itsuki says, "No, it's an abomination. Mr. Hatanaka, you're making a mistake and we're gonna stop you." Hatanaka says, "Ah, Lord's Master, yes. Say your lines, play your parts, or it won't be any fun," and then he laughs uncontrollably. Itsuki says, "He's insane." Yashido says, "Unforgivable." Itsuki says, "Wait, Yashido." Yashido says, "Wait? You want me to wait? You want me to stay my hand when my father's murderer is a slice away?" Yashido says, "If after all this, all I can do is stand and watch him escape, what has it all been for? Please tell me, what am I supposed to do?" Itsuki says, "Yashido." Yashido says, "I just wanted to be like my father, to stand on stage with him as an equal. That was all I wanted." Itsuki says, "Yashido, damn it, what can I do? Isn't there anything I can do?" He's glowing. Itsuki says, "This light, ... Crom says, "Your will to help your friends and comrades, you've awakened the true power of a lord. You don't have to think about what needs to be done, you just have to do it one more time." Crom says, "Itsuki, Yashido is calling for your help and you must answer him." Itsuki says, "Got it, Yashido. This is my guidance for you and your emotions." Itsuki says, "Hiya!" and sucks out his soul or something. Hatanaka says, "What's this light?" And then he screams. Garnef says, "No, Chikomi Tsurugi's performa. If this continues, the barrier will break." Yeah. And it explodes. It appears that whatever that is sucked in whatever the other thing was. Yashido says, "Daddy." Anyways, Garnef says, we've lost that old man's power. Yatsufusa, this is it for your little games. We have much yet to do. Hatanaka says, I suppose. I wasn't expecting such a twist. You've really messed up my schedule, but how thrilling. Hatanaka says, my little friend here is just gonna buy us some time, but don't lose. Only the Shadow Dragon gets to kill you. Anyway, see you around. Ah ha 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 ha. Then he runs away. Slowly. Now we have to kill this ugly thing. Mop! Alrighty. Well, that won't work. Let's just debilitate these fuckers. My allergies are getting crazy again. And I just cleaned yesterday, and vacuumed, and brushed my dog. Oh boy. It's the corona. I knew this was gonna be how I died. Playing a video game. Darn. Ugh. Lapping allergies. Yay! My mini boss is dead. I just say, what was your father like to Yashido? Yashido says, even as a child I could tell that acting was his one and only passion. But even so, I was happy to have a man like him as my father. I just say, you must have loved him. He says, he was a great man. All I ever wanted was to be like him as an actor and as a person. Itsuki says, your dad sacrificed his life to protect yours. We're gonna avenge him. I've never met your father, and I don't know a lot about him, but I know he'd want you to live up to your... No, I know he'd want you to live, no matter what. Yashido says, yes, until the very end, he always protected me. Even if he is no longer with me, he lives on in my memory, and I can no less afford to disappoint him now. You have my thanks. I will... Yashido Suguri will be toyed with no longer. Agreed? Itsuki says, yeah. And then they make a gay porno together. Toma says, hey Itsuki, you hear that stuff about the Shadow Dragon? Itsuki says, Mr. Hatanaka said the resurrection is too far along to be stopped. Tsubasa says, Itsuki, that means... ... Kiria says, if he was telling the truth, things look pretty grim. I just say, we have to slay it then. Kiria says, you're right, it's too late to stop the resurrection, that might be our only shot. And then Kiria says, Itsuki, we don't have any time to waste. Itsuki says, let's go back to the Bloom Palace. We need to restore Tiki's memories first. No matter what, we'll stop him and protect this world. Itsuki says, Mr. Hatanaka's wrong. Entertainment is a way to express yourself, not a way to hurt people. Yashido says, agreed. I will wipe Garnef from this world. Doom. Doom. Anyways. Yeah, we have to go to Tiki first. Okay. Tiki says, is everyone okay? Itsuki says, yes, thanks to you, we found out the truth. Tiki says, so that's it. We can't stop the ritual? Kiria says, if what they say is true, the ritual has gone beyond the point where we could disrupt it. Itsuki says, is there anything left that we can do? Tiki says, if I can get back some memories with the Dragonstone, maybe I could think of something. Itsuki says, right, I guess that's all we can rely on at this point. Tiki says, okay, I need a little time first though. Itsuki says, alright Tiki, it's up to you. And chapter 5 is over. So I assume we're going to be at an intermission. Yup. And maybe we could finish the last 4 side stories. Maiko texts us and says, let's begin mission number 5. But Miss Maiko, I hear you say, we don't have time for this when the world is in peril. But Fortuna Entertainment must go on. No matter the situation, a first-rate performer must be ready to stand on stage or in front of the camera. This time it's going to be really important. Why, you ask? Of course, I'll never tell. I'll be at the Uzume Lessons Studio. I'm sure you have a lot to do, so come by after you've finished your work. And then she sends an emoji that says fight on with a bunny that's drinking a martini. It's like this game was made for me. Well, let's go check and see if we can do any of the other side stories. If not, we'll just press forward. And it'll probably open up anyway. I think there is a 7th chapter, but I don't know if it's just like endgame stuff. Yep, there we go. Momori now has a side story, and she's in Daitama. And it appears as though Barry has one as well, and he's in the Bloom Palace. Well, since he's right here, let's go talk to him. Doesn't make sense to do the dungeon without all the perks that we're about to get for doing the side stories. Itsuki says, where's Barry? He asked me to come and talk to you. Tiki says, oh, that. Well, we've accepted the side story. Itsuki says, what's wrong? Barry says, Tiki, I'm begging you, be my Mirage, I'll do anything. Tiki says, you again? Barry says, Itsuki, you're here too. Itsuki says, what's all the commotion, Barry? I can lend an ear if that's alright. Barry says, I want to make my comeback as a Mirage Master. Tiki says, no matter how many times you ask, it's impossible. Barry says, please, Itsuki, you have to convince her. Tiki says, like I keep saying, that's not the issue. What do I have to do to make you understand? Itsuki says, Tiki looks uncomfortable. We should let it go. Barry says, no, I want to be a Mirage Master. Tiki says, looks like he's not going to listen. Itsuki says, let's call him Amori. That's our only option. Mamori says, I understand. Please leave it to me. Uncle, what are you doing? Please stop this disgraceful behavior. Barry says, oh. Mamori says, Uncle, it's not cool. Barry says, not cool? Those words again. Mamori says, Uncle? Barry says, lately you've stopped saying you're so cool, Uncle. Every single day, now it's just, Itsuki's so cool, Itsuki's so great, Itsuki, Itsuki, Itsuki. Mamori says, huh? Barry says, if I became a Mirage Master again and helped out on the front lines, then you'd say I'm cool again. Mamori says, but you are cool, Uncle, isn't that right, Tiki? Tiki says, yeah. Barry says, goddamn. And you get on my nerves too. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Mr. Blockhead. Yes, you Draug. Draug says, me? Barry says, my ass, what's with you? You get to stay with Mamori 24/7. I'm so jealous and envious. I just say, you are cool, Barry. Barry says, I don't need your pity. Itsuki says, your coaching is always on point. Not only do you compose, but you can play instruments as well. I think that's amazing. Barry says, I guess you could put it that way. Mamori says, now that's our Itsuki. Tiki says, you're amazing, big brother. Barry says, Itsuki again. Barry says, hey, I'm never listening to you again. Fine, I'm gonna go train in the Idolosphere. I'll come back as a cool man. What a dip-dip. Alrighty. Draug says, how concerning. So this is what he has become as of late. This is a serious affair. It would be good if he does not act upon any strange ideas. We get a text. Barry says, I'm off to Daiba Studia's Idolosphere. Do not look for me. Itsuki says, come on, Barry, it's dangerous. Tiki says, you can't go in there without any weapons. Mamori says, stop this recklessness. Barry sends an acronym I'm unfamiliar with, and yeah, what else? TLDR, whatever that means. Alright, so let's get the side stories up here. Because I don't want to aimlessly wander about the dungeon. Is it this one? Let's see. I think this is his last one. This page has no content. Wow, that's super useful. Anyways, Daiba Studio. Ugh. I don't know why my allergies just decided to act up for no freaking reason, but okay. Ugh. Death is coming. Death, doom, and despair. Anyways, we have entered the aforementioned Idolosphere. Barry says, Dia Witch, Barry Goodman is here. I must reclaim Mamori's smile. I cannot lose. Come at me, vile monsters. What the? Oh no, please stop. Don't get any closer. Aye! What a dipshit. You heard Barry's voice from somewhere. It seems he's in danger. Barry sends a text, says, currently making a challenge on this room. Hey kid, I'm gonna become more powerful than you. Itsuki is looking at Momori like, this guy's a fucking moron. Momori says, Tiki, can you sense Uncle? We need to rescue him. Tiki says, Barry's so selfish. Look at him, making Momori worry. Do you remember that room from before where there was tons of performa? I sense the presence there. You have to be careful, because I sense a Mirage as well. If you don't remember how to get there, look at the memo you were given, the one with the numbers on it. Momori says, understood. Thanks, Tiki. How about we just teleport there? Oh, it's not gonna let us. It's gonna make me run through this stupid dungeon a second time for no reason. Okay. I shouldn't have that sword equipped. Let me fix that really quick here. Oh joy. Oh glorious, glorious joy. Alright. Let me take a picture of this stupid crap, and then run through this stupid place all over again. Good job, game, for annoying the shit out of me. Anyway, 018769. Zero, and one is to the left. Alright, 8 is below 1, so that's to the right, I believe. Really? More of those stupid fuckers? Alright, 7 is in the upper left-hand corner. And my dog is looking for food. Get out of here. My dog doesn't speak any English, sir. That was 7. I need 6 and 9. 6 is bottom left corner. No. I'm gonna put Tsubasa back in my party since she's the only one with good healing skills. Just in case. We're gonna get any more of those annoying creatures. The last number is 9, and that is in the upper right-hand corner. Barry says, help me! Momori says, Uncle, where are you? Draug says, he's behind this door. There may be enemies, so be careful. We sense a dangerous presence. What shall we do? We proceed. It is murdering time. Let's do that then. That was a weird ass attack, but it's kind of hilarious, so I'm okay with it. OHKO is about infinity. Got a lot of prestige from that, so that's cool. Momori says, Uncle Barry, where are you? Itsuki says, Barry? Momori says, he's not here. Maybe he got eaten. Itsuki says, hold on, Momori, I just got a text from him. Read urgent text. Barry says, it seems there was no need for me to aid you in defeating these monsters. I'm gonna head back to the lesson studio. What a jackass. Itsuki says, Barry? Momori says, Uncle? What a piece of shit. Anyways, I can make new stuff now. Oh, I don't need that anymore. Hit combo. That was pretty nice. I haven't seen that go that high before. At least not that I can recall. Anyways, Kitty texted us and says, "Sometimes I wonder, why was it that I was spared during the mass disappearance? Everyone that disappeared during the incident besides Aya, they're still missing to this day. If we stop Garneth, maybe that's why my life was spared. I swear I'll stop him even if it costs me my life." Okay. Your life is not a currency for which you can barter with most of the time. So I hate it when like that comes up in too many things. Whatevs. Oh yeah, he's in Shibuya. Let's do that. Because they don't usually make me do a Radiant Unity for the tunes that don't join the party. Amori says, "Itsuki, we have to hurry inside. Uncle may be hurt." Itsuki says, "That's a relief. You're okay." Barry says, "Yeah." Barry says, "It kinda didn't go according to plan this time, but next time I'll definitely." Momori says, "Uncle." Barry says, "Yes." Momori says, "You're a big dummy. We were really worried about you. If I lost you, and she trails off. Barry says, "Momori?" Momori says, "Never do something like that again." Barry says, "I'm sorry." Itsuki says, "At least you're safe." Momori says, "You're such a scaredy cat for someone so big. You run off to play the moment I look away. You're like Yoshio." Whoever the fuck that is. Barry says, "Who's Yoshio?" Momori says, "It's a pet dog I used to have." Barry says, "I've got it." Momori says, "Uncle." Barry says, "I've got it. I've got it." The theme for a new song suddenly popped into my head. I think I can make the perfect song for you, Momori. Momori says, "Okay." I thought I turned that off. Guess I didn't. Momori says, "You're so cute, Uncle. How fluffy." Barry laughs. Momori says, "It's so fluffy." Barry says, "How about it, Itsuki? Are you jealous?" I say, "You're okay with this?" Barry says, "A-okay. If you keep having Momori say, 'You're so cute, Uncle,' nothing would make me happier." Itsuki says, "I guess." Barry says, "I don't have to be a Mirage Master because my coaching is on point and I can play instruments and compose. I'm a man who can bring a fight with what I already have." Itsuki says, "That's what I said though." Barry says, "Was it? I don't remember anything you've ever said." Anyway, this training was worth it just for me to come to that realization. And then he laughs. Itsuki says, "Oh dear." Tiki says, "He says that, but he's thankful for what you've done, big brother." Itsuki says, "Yeah, I got it." Barry continues laughing. Momori says, "Hey, Uncle, let's go for a walk." Barry wolfs at her. Wow. The side story, Barry Forever, has been completed. Everybody except for Yashido levels up, I guess. Barry has become shredding again thanks to Itsuki. He learned the backup skill Ninja Escape. From now on, escaping will be a higher chance of working. Anyways, also, Momori and Barry learn a duo art called the Tunnel Home. Dear sweet Jesus. Sweet, sweet Jesus. Alright, so I know Momori had a different one. She's in Daitama. Momori says, "Itsuki, it's happening again. The show, I don't know what to do." Itsuki says, "I'll help you." Momori says, "It's happening again." Itsuki says, "What is?" Momori says, "Another tone shift. This time they want me to actually cook." Itsuki says, "Now that you mention it, Mamorin is a cooking show, but you rarely do any real cooking." Momori says, "Microwavin' with Mamorin is a new age cooking show that took parental complaints into consideration. Some of those included letting children use knives as dangerous or gas stoves aren't for kids." Itsuki says, "You learn something new every day." Momori says, "The producer started being unreasonable and said that this is a cooking show, so let's actually cook. He's completely lost sight of the show." Itsuki says, "True, by the way, Momori, can you cook?" Momori says, "Not at all." I say, "You just need to practice." Momori says, "All right." Draug says, "This will not do. I cannot agree to this." Momori says, "Draug?" Draug says, "Momori, I wish to speak with you. Come to the Bloom Palace. Sir Itsuki, can you join as well?" Itsuki says, "I'll be there." Oh, friggin' boy. Itsuki says, "Don't tell me. Do you think cooking is dangerous, Draug?" Draug says, "That is correct. One could lose a finger to a knife, burn oneself with fire, sneeze from pepper. Danger abounds in the kitchen." Momori says, "Mr. Draug," protestingly. Draug says, "Please listen, Momori. All I say is that we need to have safety measures in place if you do this." Momori says, "Huh?" Draug says, "It would be terrible if you were to improperly use a knife and harm yourself. It's my duty to protect you." What a retard. I mean, she's like using a gigantic hammer and axes to fight enemies, but this is just too much, man. Momori rolls her eyes at him. Draug says, "Now then, what's the best means to secure safety for you? I consulted Lady Tiki on the matter." Tiki says, "I recommend Gaius's paring knife." Itsuki says, "What's that?" Tiki says, "It's a legendary blade that boasts the ultimate cutting edge." Momori says, "Wouldn't that make things more dangerous?" Draug says, not in the least. It is far more dangerous to use a half-dull knife. If we can prepare this safety knife for Momori, I shall give you my seal of approval. Momori says, then it'll be okay for me to cook if we can get this knife? Draug says, honestly, I wish there were countermeasures for burns and sneezes as well, but I shall leave that be. I do wish to cheer you on as you challenge new things, however. Itsuki says, Tiki, how can we get our hands on that knife? Tiki says, there's one in Illusory Daito TV station. Itsuki says, got it, let's go. Momori says, you'll help me? Itsuki says, I promised I'd lend you my hand. Momori says, great, thanks so much. Alright. Oh boy. Anyways. Tiki says, let me remind you what you need to do. Go to Daito TV station. You need illusory obsidian. Be careful on your way. Alright. That's so annoying. Momori says the ore is here, right? Draug says correct. Momori says I'll do my best. Draug says let's proceed. Such a useful dialogue. Tiki sends us another text. Tiki says it's a rare ore. Look somewhere you haven't gone before. Alright, whatever. Anyways. Teleport to film set B indoors 1 floor. Turn right, hug the wall, and into a purple door. Should be on the floor, shining in here somewhere, supposedly. Let me see. Yay, we found it. Momori says, this must be it. Itsuki says, we did it. Draug says, are you alright, Momori? Momori says, I want to do this, especially if it'll make the show better. Draug says, I see. Itsuki says, you're such a warrior. Draug says, of course I am. Momori's my master. I must protect her with my life. Normally I am overshadowed by that man, but I shall not be outdone in regard to my love for Momori. Momori says, Mr. Draug. Draug says, let us return. Tiki is waiting. Alright. Let's teleport the truck out of here. Anyways, Toma has texted us, and he says, I've seen all kinds of stuff since I joined Fortuna. Every genre has a star that puts their life on the line to entertain people. I'm not saying I want to throw my life away, but I do think showbiz is worth putting your life on the line for. We'll stop the Shadow Dragon no matter what. Alright. The sides of the brownie. Tiki says, did you bring the material? I say yes. Tiki says, leave it to me, I'll make the knife immediately. Anyways, now we have a purple knife that looks really girly. Tiki says, here you go, make sure you use with caution. I just say, thanks. Mamori says, this is it, it's so pretty. Thanks, Tiki. Tiki says, it's nothing. Anyways. Itsuki says, how does it feel, Mamori? Mamori says, it's great, I feel like I can cook now. Ellie says, Mamori, can you come back for a moment? The producer wants to see you. Itsuki says, the producer? I wonder what's wrong. Anyway, we should go. Mamori says, okay.
No, I mean, you're technically still
Alright, the producer says, I'm sorry, Mamori. It's about the cooking. Can we put it on hold for a bit? Mamori says, huh? The producer says, I got scolded for the idea. The higher-ups were like, what are you gonna do when parents complain? Mamori says, then the cooking part's cancelled? The producer says, yeah, we're scrapping the idea. Mamori says, nothing. The producer says, don't worry your pretty little head. I'm not scrapping the idea about the shift in tone or anything. Itsuki says, Mamori? The producer says, I know, what about a microwaving panda for the show? Maiko says, Mamori, are you okay? The producer says, you know what? If we get you in a panda suit and we have you dance around in it, how about it, Mamori baby? Mamori says, will that do? The producer says, mascots are the in thing these days. We should jump on that wagon. Mamori, cell phone charms, and all. Mamori says, what good will that do? The producer says, what's wrong? Mamori says, what good will that do again? The producer says, eat. Mamori says, the show is about microwaving, and it's about Mamorin. I've had it with all this. The producer says, don't lose your cool. Mamori says, I'll lose my cool as often as I choose to. And what's with you every single time? You keep pushing impossible demands on me and leave me to deal with them. The producer says, eek. Maiko says, such intensity. Itsuki says, she's gone through a lot until now after all. Mamori says, huh. The producer says, if the panda idea is a no-go, what else should we do? Mamori says, then let me sing. I'm good at singing. The producer says, singing? Mamori says, if I sing a catchy song that the viewers can easily learn, I'm certain it'll make the show even better. The producer says, I see. Mamori says, I want to make this show better as much as you do, so please. Mamori has glowing titty orb moment now. Yay. Pedophilia is alive and well in the video game industry, apparently. Mamori has learned my creation. Itsuki says, oh. The producer says, let's go with that. Mamori says, really? The producer says, yeah, that's a great idea. Mamori says, yay. The producer says, I'll take that idea to the show's committee. See you later. Mamori says, okay, thanks for everything. Maiko says, it all worked out, I guess. Mamori says, of course. Itsuki says, good for you, Mamori. Mamori says, Itsuki, I feel like I've taken another step forward. Anywho, we have a text that says we can go create the Unity now.
Oh my god, my flexibility technique.
Alrighty. Anyways, we learned a new skill for Momori. Oh my god, they're just not saying anything interesting. Let's just fast forward this. Basically, they're like, Momori's grown, Itsuki's awesome. Wow, you're blossoming into an adulthood. Blah. Maiko says, Momorin's open microwave has quickly turned into a standard part of the show. The ratings have been soaring and the number of Momori's fans has skyrocketed too. Barry says, your song is the best as always. Maiko says, he's right, your singing's charming no matter when I hear it. Momori says, thanks. Maiko says, who would have thought that singing a ballad with this costume would make such an interesting combination? Barry says, that's what makes it great, you just don't understand, Maiko. It's been a cultural tradition in Japan since time immemorial to appreciate the unexpected traits. Yeah, a white guy mansplaining to a Japanese woman, that seems cool. Whatever. Maiko says, yes, but to think that episode of Momorin would lead to something more like this. Maiko says, popular idol in children's cooking show sings unexpected ballad of sorrow to appear in National Ballad Show. Oh my. Momori says, my dream has come true, it's thanks to your support. Itsuki says, you had the talent to begin with, this was just from you mustering up the courage. Momori says, thanks, I'll try even harder to prepare for the singing contest as well. Itsuki says, by the way, Momori, what'd you do with the knife? Momori says, you mean Gaius' paring knife? It was a good opportunity, so I've been studying how to cook since then as well. Itsuki says, is this because of another tone shift? Momori says, nope. When a girl says they want to learn how to cook, it's not just for their job. Anyway, there's someone I wish to have eat my meals. I just say, I'm jealous. Whoever it is, they're lucky to have you cooking for them. Momori says, you really are dense, Itsuki. Itsuki says, what do you mean? Momori says, it's a secret. Anyways, Momori learns raindrop memories. Could have swore she already learned that, but whatever. Alrighty, that might be it. I think the only two left are Maiko and one other person. I know those are all done. Oh yeah, Yashido and Maiko. Oh, I guess I have to talk to her. Maiko is laughing. Itsuki says, "What's going on?" Maiko says, "Oh, it's Suki." Itsuki says, "You had a really creepy grin on your face." Maiko says, "I was thinking about Momori and Tiki. This must be fate." Itsuki says, "What is?" Maiko says, "A collaboration." Maiko says, "Think about it, a collaboration between 2D and 3D, the ultimate duo that can instantly melt anyone's heart. With that innocent charm and their sweet voices, I'll rake in the cash. I mean, bring joy to all the hearts of everyone." Itsuki says, "Sure." Maiko says, "Come on, you'd like to see it, right?" Itsuki says, "Yeah." Maiko says, "Then it's settled. I'll call them up right now. Every second I sit here talking is another second of their youth gone forever." Itsuki says, "You might be exaggerating a little." Maiko says, "You'll understand when you're older." Anyways, Momori and Tiki learn Love for You, duo art. Maiko's side quest is now open. Sure. We'll accept the side quest. Itsuki says, "Maiko, are you drunk?" Maiko says, "I sure am, but only a little bit." Itsuki says, "What do you need me to do?" Maiko says, "You see that box right there? I want to reorganize it. For example, the first letter I got goes in a bonfire, the matching rings to the ocean floor, but where do I put my broken heart?" Itsuki says, "What are you saying?" Maiko says, "Itsuki, your hand should go here." Wow. Itsuki says, "May I leave?" Maiko says, "It's just a joke. Please don't leave." Itsuki says, "There's a lot of stuff in here. Which one should I start off with?" Looks like a folder of documents. I wonder where I should put it. Maybe in that shelf with all the documents. Maiko says, "I haven't seen that in ages. It sure brings back memories. This was when Toma went overboard on a gig as an extra." Itsuki says, "What do you mean?" Maiko says, "He was supposed to be an extra, but he was like, 'I'm gonna take over the lead part,' and stood out so much. In the end, all the scenes with him were cut. We got complaints from the company." Itsuki says, "That sounds like him." Maiko says, "Yes, indeed. That's the good and the bad about Toma. He's been working harder than he has before. He might be on fire because you've joined the agency." Itsuki put the personnel documents away. Alright. Kidya's debut CD. Itsuki says, "This is a CD of Kidya's debut. I wonder where I should put it. Maybe in the CD rack. That's by the door. Oh my god." Maiko says, "She was sensitive around that time, and she still is. Anyway, she never cracked a smile at all." Itsuki says, "Really?" Maiko says, "Ever since you joined, her expression softened quite a bit. I wonder if it's because she now has adorable younglings under her. Perhaps she's grown up as well. Anyways. Itsuki says, Magazine Tel Aviv. I wonder where I should put it. Maybe in the magazine rack. Wow. Maiko says, that brings back memories. This is the magazine Ellie appeared in for the first time. She only had a side role in a TV drama, but there was a tiny picture of her in that article. It gets funnier from there. I came to the office that day and I found that magazine sitting on the table. On top of that, it's open to the page of the article, and guess what? Ellie says in a nonchalant way, you forgot this. Itsuki says, I can imagine. Maiko says, seriously, it was so cute. She gets the short end of the stick sometimes because she looks fierce, but she's really a good girl. Apparently there's more crap.
Are you okay?
Itsuki says, Oodaloid software, huh? I wonder where I should put it. Maiko says, that right there is the sample version of Tiki. Itsuki says, a sample? Maiko says, I remember having Tharja do the programming for it. Itsuki says, oh, right. Tiki maintains her form with a performa that's created from the songs made from this program. Maiko says, that's right. Everything started that day when I met Tiki. It was right after that day I had way too much to drink. When I saw that Tiki was see-through and about to vanish, I thought she was a fairy that only drunk people could see. Itsuki says, that doesn't sound dramatic at all. Maiko says, I've been with her for 5 years now and nothing's changed. Isn't there any way for me to become a virtual idol too? Itsuki put the software away. Itsuki says, that about does it. What's this? Maiko says, there it is, I've been looking for it. Itsuki says, what is this? Maiko says, I guess you could call it the footsteps since the founding of Fortuna Entertainment. I would call it a photo album myself, but whatever. Itsuki says, everyone looks like they're having fun. Maiko says, this is like an energy boost for me. I gaze at it when times are tough. I can't believe it's already been 5 years. I just say, you're getting old, boss. She says, do you want me to smack you down, kiddo? Itsuki says, I'm just joking. Why did you decide to become president? Maiko says, if I were to give a reason, I guess it's because of my sense of duty. Itsuki says, what do you mean? Maiko says, I felt that I had to fight to save the world. When that incident occurred a couple years ago, I met Tiki. It led to the creation of Fortuna. I've been frantically gathering masters since then. Itsuki says, I see. Maiko says, I'll admit there were times I was depressed because I couldn't quite give up my original career. But as I continued to watch over all the other talent, I began to think differently. I thought rather than me take the spotlight, I want these children to shine brighter. I want to take them to the top. That's why I'm proud of the work I do. Ah ha ha, sorry to ramble on like that. It's been a while since I've done such a thing. What is this? Is this your special skill to make people talk? Pretty impressive, considering how young you are. I know. I'm going to give you something nice to thank you for all your hard work today, Itsuki. Itsuki says, something nice, and Maiko hands us a book. It's her second My Complex thing. Maiko says, this is a rare item that you can't buy anymore. I just say, I'd rather see the real thing, like how you did the shoot with Mr. Horinozawa. You looked dazzling when I saw you then. Maiko says, happy to hear it. You know, this was planned as a trilogy, but I retired before the last book was shot. It was supposed to be in Guam. Maiko says, I guess I could say that's my only regret. Haha, just kidding. Right now, I feel that my purpose in life is to watch over all of you as president of the company, so don't worry about it. Itsuki says, I see. Maiko says, you're such a good listener. I think I spoke too much. Well then, thanks for coming. If anything comes up, I'll ask for your help again. Anyways, Maiko's side story is now complete as well. Now we have increased the quantity of items we can hold. Anyways, we got a text from Maiko, which is weird because she's standing right in front of us. But yeah, I guess that's how it goes. Maiko says, thanks for cleaning up. I feel like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. Alrighty. Well, everyone's done but Yashido. And it's too soon. Okay. So we're gonna progress the plot. Oh, apparently that was Maiko's second side story, and her third one is now available. Whoops. Thought we were done, but I guess not. Maiko says, I need documents delivered. Itsuki says, leave it to me. Itsuki says, documents to a photo shoot. Maiko says, yes, there'll be a special on Kidia in a magazine and the shoots for the poster included in it. Nobu's the photographer. It's gonna take place in Guam. Lucky her. Itsuki says, I see. Maiko says, here's the documents. I believe he'll give you some paperwork too, so make sure you bring that back. Nobu should be at Daiba Studio. I'll be counting on you. Itsuki says, Roger. And Kidia texts us. She says, do you have time right now? Itsuki says, I'm on an errand. Kidia says, Maiko, can I borrow him? Maiko says, sure thing. But don't forget about mine. Kidia says, it's settled. Come to the cafe then. The staff says welcome. Itsuki says, what should I get? Now, apparently I have to talk to her outside of the cafe. Oh boy. Kidia says, sorry to call you out like this. Itsuki says, no big deal, what do you want to talk about? Kidia says, let's go and talk about it inside. Inside her vagina. Kidia says, sorry to call you when you're so busy, I'll get straight to the point. The 5-year anniversary of Fortuna is coming up. So to commemorate, I was wondering if there was anything we could do for Maiko. What do you think? Itsuki says, that sounds great. Count me in. She's always helping us out after all. Kidia says, with that said, do you have any ideas? Itsuki says, how about a 3rd photo book for her trilogy? Kidia says, I see. My complex, right? Itsuki says, she told me about it the other day when I helped clean up the office. She seemed hung up about it. Kidia says, we'll make that photo book ourselves and give it to her as a present. I'm sure she'd love it. Itsuki says, the question is, where can we get the shoot for that done? Kidia says, I have a plan already. I'll be going to Guam soon for a magazine shoot. Mr. Harinozawa is the photographer. Itsuki says, then you mean? Kidia says, right. The arrangements are already made for a legendary 3rd book. I'll try to get her to come with me. I want you to talk to Mr. Harinozawa first, though. Itsuki says, got it. Kidia says, it's decided then. Well then, let's get going. I'll tell everyone about this as well. Okay. Oh boy. I forget where I'm supposed to go. Let me just pull it up really fast. There we go. Anyways, we get a text from Ellie. She says, I can't believe how busy I am. I love this crazy festival. Alrighty. I don't remember. I think it was Daiba. Yeah, there he is. Hidinazawa says, you're one of Maiko's. Itsuki, right? I can't thank you enough for what you did back then. Itsuki says, it was nothing and this is for you. Hidinazawa says, is this for Kiria's photo shoot? Thanks for bringing it over. Itsuki says, by the way, I'd like to discuss something with you. Nobu says, I see, that's a great idea. The third volume has always been on my mind, but it'll be impossible. Itsuki says, why? Nobu says, I don't have the lens, the one I used for that book, I mean. The trilogy was shot using a special lens. It could capture the very shape of one's soul, and it was made by an artisan who's no longer alive. The lens broke during the commotion in Shibuya. I can't, in good conscience, crown something with the name My Complex if it isn't shot with that lens. Itsuki says, I see. Nobu says, sorry I couldn't be of any help. Guess we're gonna probably go find some stupid item somewhere. Itsuki says, that's a bummer. We can't proceed like this. I guess I should check in with Kiria. Itsuki says the same thing to Kiria. Kiria says, I understand. I'm an artist, so I get why he'd want to only do this under the best conditions. Maiko says, is Nobu still wanting a new lens? Men are always like that. Hear me out. This happened a few years ago. Kiria says, Maiko, can we talk another time? Itsuki, Tharja says it may be possible to make something similar. The gem that Tharja uses when casting spells, it can be found in the Idolosphere at the 106. She says it's truly a gem that can capture the shape of a soul. Itsuki says if we use that, maybe we can convince him. Tiki says, I've been following the conversation. When you get the gem, bring it to me and I'll transform it. Itsuki says, thoughts? Kiria says, let's go to the Idolosphere. Alright. Anyways. Guess I'm off to 106 Idolosphere again, even though I was just fucking there. Alrighty. Kiria says you made it. Well then, let's begin the treasure hunt. Itsuki says, let's do what we can. Tharja says, do your best. Anyways. Tiki says, about the gem, it's probably going to be in a spot where there are strong enemies. go to the place where you fought the last boss, basically. Apparently, it's specifically in basement 2 in a circular room. Alrighty. We're on B3, so we want to go up one level. Alright. Must be the other way then. There we go. We have received Illusory Dogen Gem. Kiria says, with this we can make the lens. Tharja says, we did it. Itsuki says, yes. Kiria says, let's contact Tiki. Kiria says, Tiki, hello? Says Tiki. Kiria says, we got the gem. Tiki says, good job. Bring it to the Bloom Palace and leave the rest to me. Alrighty. Anyways, Tsubasa texted us, and she says, thanks for everything up until now. I couldn't imagine doing this without you. She says a lot more than that, but that's the gist. Alright, so we are going back to the office, to the Bloom Palace. Tiki says, looks like you got the jam. And I just say, if you please. Tiki says, I'll give this a go right away. Boing. She turned it into the thingy. Tiki says, it's done. Here you go, the lens is ready. Whew, I'm tired. Itsuki says, thanks, Tiki. Tiki says, no problem. Anyway, give it to Nobu. Obtained soul focus lens. I think it was here. Nobu says, good timing. I have some papers for you. Harimazawa says, where'd you get that? Itsuki says, please use it to shoot the third volume of my complex. Horinazawa says, of course. It just needs a little treatment, but I'll be able to use it immediately. Thanks, Itsuki. I promise you that I'll take the best photos of Maiko under the blue skies of Guam. Oh, and Itsuki. Itsuki says, yes? Please give these documents to Maiko. Itsuki says, I completely forgot about those. We have received a text from Maiko. She says, Itsuki, are you done? I need those documents. Don't make any detours getting back. Maiko says, welcome back. Maiko says, thanks for the delivery. Kidio's photo shoot will go smoothly now. Kidio says, yes, about that. If it's alright with you, would you care to join me? I know how busy things have been, and the island air would be a nice break for you. And with that, Maiko accompanied Kidia to Guam. And then some slutty pictures were taken, I guess. Ooh, cake. Maiko says, goodness, I was surprised. I never imagined that a photo shoot would spring up like that so suddenly. Kidia says, you seemed rather pleased. Maiko says, of course I was. Guam is special, and that cute outfit, how would I not get excited? Momori says, we selected that just for you. Ellie says, I suggested something with more Hollywood flair, but I was shot down. Tsubasa says, the Star-Spangled Banner one was a little bit much. Ellie says, yours was no better than mine. You chose a cat. Aya says, now, no need to fight. Maiko says, thanks everyone. Toma says, it's not over yet, Miss Maiko. Yashido says, indeed, we wouldn't be exaggerating if we said that this was all merely the opening act. Toma says, that's totally over-exaggerating. Itsuki says, Kidia. Kidia says, Maiko, congratulations on the 5th anniversary and thanks for everything. This is from all of us. Barry says, woo! Maiko says, the 3rd volume of my complex. Maiko says, that's what all this was about. Thanks so much, everyone. Maiko says, Itsuki, you're the one who made this happen. Itsuki says, we just wanted to show our appreciation. Maiko says, not a problem. You're all my adorable little children. Anyways, the job is complete. And Yashido levels up. And we learn some skill that makes items less expensive to purchase. How fancy. Alright, now we're gonna move the main story forward. Ooh, my Delcia. Anyways, this should end the intermission and put us on chapter 6. Yashido says, you're getting too wrapped up in the choreography. Your singing is suffering for it. Ellie says, you gotta be careful about when you move and find a place to breathe. Find timing that works for you. Itsuki says, got it. Momori says, Itsuki, you're sweating like you're sick. What's going on? Ellie says, you haven't heard? One of the musical Fez performers had to drop out, so Itsuki is filling in. He'll be on his own though, since we're all in different shows. Momori says, I see, it sounds tough. Itsuki says, it is, but I don't know when I'll get another opportunity, so I'm gonna give it my best shot. Barry says, I got everyone to come help me put Itsuki through the paces. Kidia says, Ellie, Yashido, time to switch coaches. Ellie says, sure, you might as well take a little break too, Itsuki. Itsuki says, I want to do a little more first, though. Kidia says, you're looking pretty good, Itsuki. Toma says, not too shabby. Tsubasa says, Itsuki. Itsuki says, Tsubasa, what's up? Tsubasa says, it's almost call time. You have to get to stage. Itsuki says, already? Thanks, Tsubasa. Tsubasa says, good luck. Intermission has ended. My. Itsuki learned firm resolve. My. Anyways, Tiki, I guess, is gonna learn her memories from this stone thingy. She looks like she has a headache. Itsuki says, are you alright? Tiki says, I'm okay. I found a way to fight the Shadow Dragon. Itsuki says, how? Tiki says, the Divine Dragon. Momori says, divine? Tiki says, yes. Only one thing can oppose the power of Shadow, that is the power of light. If we want to call forth the Divine Dragon, we have to perform Opera of Light Fire Emblem. Momori says, Fire Emblem. Tiki says, it's a story and the roles can only be played by those with the power to save the world. A story of the heroes that rose up in our world against the Shadow Dragon, their battle written as Theatra. Yashido says, aha, so this performance, this opera, is a sort of counter-ritual to call upon the Divine Dragon. Theater has its roots in ancient religious rituals, so using it for magic invocation seems plausible. Tiki says, I don't really know, but I think that's how it works. But there's something we have to do first. Okay. Tiki conjures a gate. Omori says, what's behind the gate? Tiki says, it's a land just like the world I once lived in. The heroes who fought against the Shadow Dragon a long time ago, their power rests there. Itsuki says their power? Tiki says yes. If you can inherit their power, then you should be able to complete the Opera of Light. But to test whether you're worthy of receiving the power, you'll have to overcome 3 trials. Yashido says nothing will stand between me and crushing Garnef. If they aim to test us, then let us be tested. Itsuki says whatever these trials are, we will pass them. Tiki says I know you can do it, everyone. Good luck. We've received a text from Maiko. She says, I heard about the situation. Who would have thought there'd be a gate to trials in the Bloom Palace? Good luck. You won't have to worry about anything else. I made all the proper arrangements. Alrighty. Itsuki says, an entrance to the Idolosphere. What should I do? We enter. Itsuki says, this is the resting place of the hero's power. Tharja said, the kid's got an eye for detail. Kaida says, what do you mean? Tharja says, this illusory world, it's built out of Tiki's own memories. Kaida says, that's what she meant, a world that looks just like ours. Navarra says, the irony stings, even if this is our homeland, our lost memories leave us strangers to it. Tsubasa says, all of you must feel so mixed up. Itsuki says, let's go. Tsubasa says, yeah, we have to stop Garnef and save the world. Alrighty. This looks like a semi-decent place to stop. So I'm going to start my upload for this stream, and then I will probably take like a 5-minute break, and then come back and do some more. Alright, thanks for watching, and we will see you shortly.